The residents of Chibo is actually evolved from the waste discarded by humans on the sea surface. On the first morning, countless underwater residents had gathered outside the Pineapple House. Even the TV station sent a host to report on this, because SpongeBob was about to attempt the feat of exploring the sea surface for the first time. After smearing lard all over his body, SpongeBob fantasized that he would become a hero in everyone's eyes. At the same time, Mr. Krabs didn't let go of this money-making opportunity. He was selling SpongeBob-themed amulets beside, claiming that they could protect people from harm. With the cheers of the crowd, SpongeBob jumped into the water with full courage. Unexpectedly, a rather embarrassing scene occurred, which immediately drew the laughter of the onlookers. Seeing this, Mr. Krabs quickly changed the sign to a pedal store sign. Sandy came forward and pointed out that this violated the laws of physics. SpongeBob had a sudden inspiration and wrapped himself with balloons. Miraculously, he floated towards the sea surface. During the process of passing through the dense jellyfish swarm and rising, SpongeBob finally got close to the sea surface, but was blocked by a mass of pitch-black garbage. He started to explore among these floating human wastes on the sea. At the same time, these wastes kept falling to the seabed. The passing garbage turned into resources for the underwater residents one after another. A huge cone became a farming tool, and a large pencil became the pillar of a tent. The residents regarded these as gifts from the sea god. A couple in urgent need of a place to live, seeing that they were homeless, suddenly had an empty can fall, which became their love nest. At this time, an old man claiming to be the sea god appeared on the sea surface, holding a trident. He waved a paperclip and threw it at SpongeBob. SpongeBob didn't flinch and launched a fierce battle of making use of waste. The sea god sends us gifts and treasures. Bless us. Yeah, surfing. Every piece of garbage in this battle fell into Bikini Bottom. The residents regarded these items as gifts from the sea god. As long as they made a wish on the balloon and then threw it towards the sea surface, they hoped their wishes would come true. Meanwhile, the two people, out of breath, finally stopped. The old man, Jiggins, recognized SpongeBob and began to tell the strange story of how he accidentally arrived here. It turned out that on that day a year ago, which was also his birthday, his friends gave him a bunch of balloons. Unexpectedly, these balloons actually lifted him above the sea surface. SpongeBob had an idea and proposed to build a temporary ladder with the waste on the beach to go back to the sea. At the same time, the residents in the sea, because they hadn't received gifts from the outside world for a long time, thought they had offended the sea god king and started to plan a sacrifice with salted fish. Just at this moment, a ladder made of waste suddenly appeared. The salted fish thought this was the call of the sea god and climbed towards the sea surface one after another. SpongeBob reached the sea surface with the help of the ladder and became the sponge that successfully completed the exploration. Just as he was about to return contentedly, the ladder suddenly started to shake violently. It turned out that the salted fish below were also climbing. These salted fish mistook SpongeBob's shadow for the incarnation of the sea god and rushed towards him one after another. However, when they saw the truth and found that Jiggins was actually the so-called legendary sea god, the scene fell into chaos. SpongeBob quickly clarified the misunderstanding, but the creatures mistook him for a hero and started to celebrate. But due to their overly intense actions, the ladder they were on finally couldn't bear the weight and collapsed. Jiggins climbed out of the ruins, holding a fork and shouting that he was the sea god king. Just then, thunder struck from the sky, and the real sea god king appeared. He gave Jiggins an electric shock massage, and SpongeBob was unfortunately flattened into a paper-like shape and was picked up by Mr. Krabs to be used as a sign for the Krusty Krab. Going home. They called me a hero.